What's up, TruthTube? Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. You guys know the drill. We're checking out TikTok conspiracy theories and talking about if we believe them or not, basically. Oh dang, I'm using the wrong background. I can fix that. That's better. Don't forget my new posting schedule, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for a new video, and Sundays for a live stream, all at 4:15 PM PST. So come hang out, say hi in the chat, but that's all subject to change again. So make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video. Tight. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
Alright, so you tell me what you're...
What would you do if you saw this outside your window? I'd probably just wave back. Hi. You wanna come in for some hot cocoa? He looks nice. I don't know, he's got a nice suit on.
There's a U.S. Marine that's going on trial against Congress, talking about how he's seen UFOs abducting humans, but the UFOs weren't aliens, they were humans abducting other humans.
What?
Yo.
In the actual is
Bro,
going on?
it was a named Michael Hara, and it was in 2009. Like, he had to go do like an Overwatch mission in Indonesia because there was a natural disaster, like a hurricane. So he was over there just making sure the land was good.
Yeah.
And then I guess he was in the jungle and he seen like a UFO like hovering over in the jungle, picking up people. And then he seen like US trucks. Like, he wasn't supposed to be over there. Like, he just wandered off. And then he said like a week or two later, like some unnamed government officials came in. Like, he said these people did not have no name tags. And they was like, yo, you cannot speak about this to your general, can't speak about this to your family, can't speak about this to your platoon, your group. If so, you can get put in prison or they will execute you.
So why is he telling anybody about it? But I feel like lots of those threats have been made to various people, and that's why it's hard to hear anything about any of it.
Do you guys think the earth is flat or round?
Who's asking?
Ruby.
Who do you work for?
Just a question, guys.
What do you think it is?
I think it's flat. I think it's...
No, that's what we've been saying.
So you guys agree that the earth is flat?
In our parody documentary, yeah.
When we were surrounded by the dumbest people on the
Was it a
planet.
joke?
We posed as flat earthers and infiltrated the Flat Earth Convention. It is the dumbest group of people I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, so how do we know that the earth is not
There's
flat?
Have you heard of Occam's razor?
No.
It's a theory that the simplest explanation is often the correct explanation. There are so many things and explanations that prove the earth is round,
Like
correct
what?
and true time and time and time again.
Okay.
The same doesn't hold up for the flat earth theory.
Is them going to the moon real?
I was gonna ask you that.
No.
Ruby, hold
Why
on.
did they never go back?
So you don't have to believe both, because I don't think we made it to the moon.
There's a lot
either.
of lies, y'all.
What do
There's
you
a lot of
mean?
lies.
Why not? We're going back to the moon right now. We're going back. Yes,
Why
we
have they
are.
never went back
Someone's
in all
going back,
these
either we,
years?
Russia, or India. I can't remember what it is. Somebody's going back to the moon right now.
So, I mean, we did go back to the moon a handful of times. And a few more people did walk on the earth, like Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell, E. Conrad and Alan Bean, all on the Apollo missions, at least for Americans. But allegedly, it's been 47 years since anybody's gone back. I only say allegedly because I feel like they could go to the moon and not tell us, you know? Like, they had the technology at this point, right? The logical side of me says that they realized it was safer to send robots to the moon than it was to send actual humans. But the conspiratorial side of me says they saw something on the moon that they realized it wasn't safe to send humans, so they needed to send robots. With all this alien stuff, I don't know, some of those transcripts are weird. I was reading through some of those Apollo transcripts, and I think it was Neil Armstrong that said something about, I bet those people in the bottom of that crater never get out of there. And I'm not fully convinced that he saw a colony or anything, but it is a weird thing to say. And then there was a handful of other ones that were really good. You search, I think I searched like weird Apollo mission quotes, Reddit. Somebody linked me to it. There we go. All right, it took me a minute, but I found it. If you go find this Reddit thread, they link to all these Reddit transcripts. And I think it was in there, I might have just Googled it, but you can actually listen to all the flight logs and listen through for yourself and listen along with the transcript and see that they're actually saying what they're saying. And I did that for a few hours last week, and it was really interesting. And I might do a video on it in the future sometime. Listen through those and flip out some of the weird stuff. But yeah, you can go check out that Reddit thread and check it out for yourself if you like, because it is really interesting. Yeah, we're gonna
If you tell me this ain't how Hollywood recruits, then you is crazy. They hide the truth in plain sight.
Around and looking at her lines one last time. She then faces the casting director again and initiates the scene. Sarah delivers the lines with emotion and emphasis, making sure not to miss any details from the script handed to her. The casting director has complimenting lines, and Sarah does not miss a beat as she seems to perform perfectly. The moment the scene ends, Sarah looks happy with her performance. Still, she senses that the casting director does not think she is worth considering. Unable to understand why, she even asks if there are any notes to consider for improving her performance. Despite her inquiries, the casting director leaves her with no response. Sarah takes her things with her to the bathroom, immediately melting down in one of the stalls. She throws an aggressive tantrum, bangs the bed with her handbag, and eventually rips through the script in her hand, shouting profanities one last time.
So this girl is undercoverly crazy. Every time she fails, she punishes herself by pulling her hair out or messing herself up some way.
Sarah sits on the toilet and collects her breath. Sarah's obsessive habit of playing with her hair overcomes her again. This unhealthy obsession with pulling her hair out also reveals her desire to punish herself in self-disappointment. Seeing her hair urges to indulge in this unhealthy habit, as she ends her fit by aggressively pulling out several strands of hair from her head. She then gets ready to leave the stall, and opens the door to find that one of the casting directors has been listening in on her tantrum for quite some time now.
Creepy.
Sarah is taken back to the audition room, where the second casting director confronts her about her tantrum in the bathroom. Sarah initially pleads ignorance, but the director pushes her to be open about her fit. When Sarah admits to pulling her hair out, the casting director finds her even more interesting, demanding to see...
There you go right there. That's how they recruit. You gotta have something fucked up with you mentally, because they know that they can fuck you up with pain or whatever, and you're gonna indulge that pain with tolerance, because they know they can fuck with you, do whatever they want with you, and then throw you to the side. That's how Hollywood does it. The more fucked up you are, the higher you go up.
And that's why I'm not already famous. They know I'm too powerful. No, I don't really care about being famous. I just want to build a cool community on YouTube and make enough money doing content to be able to pay my bills. I don't need fame. I don't need all that Illuminati crap. But I would like to make my own movie someday. So, you know, I'd like to be able to do that too.
So for the first 3 days you're there, there's no showering. They put you in a circle, which is it's a teepee. It's a little teepee, but it's open. And you have to sit there for 3 days. They wouldn't let me lay down for nothing. Like, I was falling asleep and they were like, get up, get up. So I'm just sitting here like, this is gonna be really bad. When I seen these people have no sympathy, I was like, oh, I'm really doomed. They strip you from your whole personality. You have to act like just whoever they want you to act like. They told me, okay, these are what your chores are gonna be. I don't remember what they were, but they were like, these are what your chores are gonna be. This is what you're gonna be doing. Here's your level 1 binder. You do the same thing every day. Chop wood, take care of the animals. This place is all about taking away privileges. Like, okay, yeah, the phone is a privilege, TV, like all that. But they take away like necessity privileges, like sleeping on a bed, eating good food, not being cold.
People in the comments are saying she's talking about the Dr. Phil boot camp. That's messed up. The only Dr. Phil I accept is this one.
My man, what's your first name? Go ahead and say it for the crowd.
RN.
The fuck did you call me? I don't like his attitude or energy. Let's go to this side of the room.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to use all that because it's Adam Ray's content, but shout out to Adam Ray. His Dr. Phil impression is legendary. Nominated as the Kill Tony Guest of the Year last year, 2023. Running for 2024, back to back. Back to back. Drake Kendrick, Drake P. Diddy, Epstein, Oprah. Dr. Phil, Oprah. Allegedly. In 10 years, you're going to see the web, and it's all going to come together. Trust me.
Now, I know y'all been wondering where the hell I been. Shit, I been wondering where the hell I been too. Y'all remember this last video I made? This shit got me in trouble. They sent me a message so motherfucking hard, I got off TikTok for goddamn 2 months. Voluntarily. I just wanted to make sure they know that I received the message. See, first I had some people hit me up like,
you need to calm down talking about that chemtrail shit.
But I was like, bitch, you calm down. I ain't scared of these niggas. The next day, I walked outside and seen an X above my house. It was that moment I realized, oh, these bitches ain't playing. And I shut my ass up immediately. Y'all think I'm bullshitting, huh?
You know where this X is right here? X marks the spot, right above my house type shit. Yeah, I just hope this shit like once.
Now, for those of y'all that ain't seen this video, go back through my timeline and watch it. And keep in mind, this shit happened a day after. Please like, share, and drop a comment. Am I tripping, or is this just a coincidence? Either way it go, it's only one thing for sure. I'm back, bitches, and we about to continue with this goddamn measurement-cation. Now,
I like his style. I don't know if he has anything to be worried about with the X on the spot, you know, because he posted that in July of last year, and Gonna keep on continuing with this education. It's funny. Yeah, he's been posting pretty regularly, so. Wait, he stopped posting? Oh no, that's pinned. Hold on. He posted in January.
Back at it like a crack addict. Y'all remember that time Bear got caught giving people HIV? Oh, this wasn't no accident. See, during the 1980s, HIV was spreading like mayonnaise. Not truly understanding the situation at hand, the media just blamed it on the gays. The gays was like, that wasn't us, but we know who did. See, what had happened was Bear had dropped the bag for this new blood clotting agent for hemophiliacs. Unfortunately, the damn product got contaminated with HIV. But Bear was like, shit, we done spent a little bit too much money, and decided to keep dumping the product wherever they could. Now, according to multiple outlets like The Guardian and CBS, they said that they only affected like 20,000 people.
Only?
But if y'all know the media like I know the media,
that part.
Anywho, Bear paid about $300 million into a compensation fund for hemophiliacs with HIV. They just want to tell y'all that they were sorry. For those of y'all that shocked, don't be shocked. Lest y'all forget, this the same company that got they start selling heroin back in the late 1800s.
All right, that guy is Infamous Trey Ali on TikTok, so go check him out. He's funny. I like his stuff. Let me follow him real quick. I mean, this guy was good.
So everybody's talking about CERN, the Book of Revelation, as well as the eclipse April 8th. And as a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason, people have asked me for my opinion as well. However, I'm going to take you back in time just a little bit. This is a medieval depiction of God the Creator creating or establishing the heavens and the earth, where we can clearly see that he's using a Masonic symbol known as the compasses, while depicted inside of a square frame. However, I want you to notice the color scheme that is portrayed throughout these images that I'm going to show you, where his garments are red and blue. Now, as a Scottish Rite Freemason, I see symbolism a lot differently or esoterically, which means a deeper I'm going to show you, where his garments are red and blue. Now, as a Scottish Rite Freemason, I see symbolism a lot differently or esoterically, which means a deeper representation. For example, when people look at the CERN logo, the first thing that they see is 666. And given that that is the first thing that their mind comes to, shows me that they already took the mark of the beast, because their mind has been conditioned to look at the evil side of it. However, the very first thing that I see is this image right here, where we can see the God the Creator creating the sacred Tav or the sacred Tau, which in a simplistic form, basically what I'm seeing is God the Creator and his covenant with man. And if you're a Freemason, you should be more familiar with the numbers 3, 5, and 7, as there's a total of 1, 2, 3 sections, with the Vesca Pisces in the middle being 1, 2, and then 3 in the center, making a total of 5, and then 5 in the middle, and then 1 plus 1 equals 7. Where in the Fellowcraft degree, we are presented what's called the Staircase Lecture, which is the entrance into King Solomon's Temple, consisting of 3, 5, and 7 steps. So when I see 6 and 9, what I'm seeing is 6 being the number of man merging with the number of God, which at the end of the day is God's original covenant. There's also rumors that they discovered the God particle. If you look in the circle where CERN is written, I see a G and then I also see a P. Particle is related to the word pater, which in Roman basically means father. So essentially God the Father, alluding to light particles being the seed of the Father from the Sun, as the Sun and the Moon are merging together for the eclipse. Jesus says that it is easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle. We'll take a closer look at this depiction of what God is creating in this image. And then same thing here in the center. Keep in mind that all of these images were made back in the Renaissance, when studying the 7 liberal arts and sciences, which is the 7 steps in the 357 method of the Fellowcraft degree. Back when the Roman Catholic Church had all of this knowledge completely hidden from society, not only does the machine of CERN itself happen to look like an eye, but this is also a model of how all the data that we have collected so far is what the universe looks like, basically from God's perspective. So is CERN really discovering something new and contributing to science? Or did the medieval Freemasons actually have a connection with God and was able to receive divine revelations for spiritual science? Did CERN actually consciously make this their logo? Or were they actually trying to kill God in every single one of us? Because if you look in this section right here, you see the Aleph and then you see the cross where the Tav is. It happens to be an exact mirror image on the other side of the planet where the path of totality is happening April 8th. Some people are also saying that CERN is able to open up a portal. But like I said before, I saw the 6 and the 9 and also a figure 8 alluding to the eclipse. Revelation 6 verse 8 through 9, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beast of the earth. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. This may sound scary, but this actually is good for us, because they've done nothing but try to find the God particle but been studying black matter. Black matter is also dark mother. Initial BM, and if we reverse this being MB, we see Mystery Babylon. Darkness, which is ignorance, as they still don't understand dark matter. The portal that they're opening is God's eye. Revelation verse 6 and 9, and when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held. This is God opening the portal to see in where death exists and can hear the cries of all of our prayers. This is their depiction of how all light particles come into existence. This side represents all light particles as in ALP, which is the alpha. And this is how all light turns into material, which forms the Tav, which is all light material ALM, or Aleph Lam Mem in the Quran. And then the center is when the two come together. Particles form into material and then turn into you. The basic principality of how everything comes into existence. How God created everything from the dust of the earth. Science has been doing everything it can to try and kill and disprove God. When I declared this last year on January 1st, 2023, as God is the one that revealed this to me, and this is how everything came into existence. This is Genesis 1:1 in Hebrew. Barashit bara Elohim et hashamayim wayot ha'eretz. In the beginning, God established the heavens and the earth. God established the earth in 7 days. The sun and the moon alluding to the eclipse, the 28-day moon cycle. 2 8s is the 88, which is the 808, which is the flower of life. Just like when you take the name Yeshua and Miriam Magdalene in Hebrew, you get the numerical value of 808, which goes into subatomic matter. And in the fourth word, we see Aleph Tav. This represents Aleph, or God. And this is how God established God's covenant, which I revealed in a video just a few weeks ago, as God revealed this to me. So my interpretation, they're trying to open up a portal so that way they can try and kill God inside of all of us. But the Lord promised us that that would not happen. So if that is the case, then we need to do what the Bible says and we need to do what the Quran says and let them do it. As both have declared, let the people who do evil continue to do evil. And those who do evil are the world leaders, being the religious leaders and the political leaders, which both are operating this at CERN. They are declaring war on God, which is basically in the Norse term, Ragnarok. Rag being RGB, being how all light comes into existence. And if you look closely, CERN backwards is Narak. If you believe in God anywhere in the world, then we all know how this ends. So if they want to declare war with God, I say let them. Because as it's always been written in the stars, we already won. Prepare for Judgment Day for the world leaders. And peace on earth for God's children. So mote it be.
Yeah. I know that was a long one, but I thought that was interesting. And he claims to be a Freemason. And he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So either does or... I mean, he doesn't seem to be crazy. I mean, I know the face tattoos kind of make him look crazy, but aside from that, he sounds like pretty well thought out and put together, and the symbolism all kind of makes sense. But I don't know. That's a lot of stuff I would have to look into to see if he's right, but it sounds like he knows better than me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that guy. I thought he was interesting. He's the Gnostic Pope on TikTok.
Have you heard the crazy conspiracy theory that celebrities get mentally frozen at the age that they got famous? These examples will explain a lot. Taylor Swift has confirmed that she is a victim of this conspiracy theory.
You know, there's this thing people say about celebrities that they're frozen at the age they got famous, and that's kind of what happened to me.
Her pathological people-pleasing is definitely a quality of an agreeable, shy teenage girl. The arrested development of celebrities may offer an explanation as to why Leonardo DiCaprio only goes for women under 25. As he got worldwide famous in 1996 when he was 22. His type back then was ingenue, stereotypical supermodels who were his age, and they grew out of that, but he never did. Don't turn 25, baby, you're too sexy. An example could be Michael Jackson, who got famous when he started performing at the age 5. And without getting into the dark side, to respect everyone involved, he did admit he bought the Neverland Ranch to be a sanctuary for kids to have a perfect childhood experience that he never got to have because of fame. And maybe he saw himself in those kids. I think there's more to the eternally 12 birthday cake Mariah Carey always has. Selena Gomez got worldwide famous when she was a preteen. Maybe that could explain why she's addicted to middle school drama. The craziest example of this that got me really thinking about this week is when Miranda Cosgrove said she has never drinking before because she's never had a reason to. What a strange thing to say. And she doesn't smoke and will only swear a little bit, but she thinks it's like endearing, like when it's funny when a little kid swears and everyone laughs. Then I got to thinking, oh my god, she's frozen at 5 years old, Drake and Josh. She's frozen at Megan. Have you?
Megan. I like his examples. They were funny if nothing else, you know?
This actor exposes how Hollywood really is. Listen closely.
With actors, you're in a vulnerable situation. You know, you're in a vulnerable place. You're trying to get a job, and there's people who could use that power to abuse it. I was a young actor. Yeah, I was asked to go to a hotel room of a director. It was a famous director, and I didn't think anything weird by it because I never think it had ever happened to me. And so I went, and he was in his robe. I still didn't think it was weird. Well, he probably just came out of the shower or whatever. And then he asked me to do, to do the scene and then crawl on my belly around it. And it got to a weird place. I remember that humiliation, and I didn't tell anybody. The agents are creeps too, you know, and then trying to get a job, and the casting directors can be, and the people who are the producers, the directors. I mean, it's rampant in the industry. There's not one actress who doesn't have a story. Just before I was really famous, and the next thing I know, I'm in a room with this guy. He's in a chair. And, comes out in a bathrobe and sits in this chair. And the next thing you know, he's asking me to crawl on the ground and then to crawl toward him. And it was this.
If you want to be in the entertainment industry, be careful and speak out.
I mean, look, I believe Rob Schneider. Why would Rob Schneider lie about that, right? I mean, I have a personal experience with not even a famous casting director. It's like bottom tier casting director and still try to get away with crap like that. I believe Rob Schneider, I think that happens a lot more often than we'll ever know.
Whistleblower Joshua Dean has died suddenly
Oh, this
after
stuff is
accusing
crazy.
his former employer of ignoring safety issues. His death comes 2 months after former Boeing quality control manager John Barnett took his own life.
If this doesn't say, is there anyone else that'd like to speak up about this matter? Then I don't know what is at this point. A while ago, I made a couple of videos about this Boeing conspiracy and the passing of John Barnett. And this is like a massive rabbit hole when you dig really deep into the trenches of Boeing, but it's not just Boeing. Boeing is like this patchwork of this entire twisted quilt. It's actually who owns Boeing. First off, let's look at what happened with Josh Dean. Now, according to reports, Josh's passing was due to an antibiotic-resistant staph infection, commonly known as MRSA. And he was a healthy 44-year-old man before all of this happened. MRSA is known as methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and it's one hell of a bacterial infection that could be easily transferred through toothbrushes, razor blades, even towels, as well as surgical equipment. It's really not that hard to transfer, but it's also very serious and very life-threatening. But what we fail to look at is the bigger picture of who pretty much owns this entire twisted quilt, who pretty much owns Boeing. And this is a
BlackRock.
Huge global company that owns everything, even the clothes on your back,
It's always
the phone
BlackRock.
that you record your TikToks on, even
Vanguard,
the apps
BlackRock.
that you open, Facebook, and that is BlackRock, which is a huge global investment group. Let's just say that they own everything of everything. And when I mean everything, S&P 500 companies, which include Microsoft, Meta, Apple, even Amazon. Every time you buy something from Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, when you open your Instagram app, you're making this business a ton of money. They're number one when it comes to global investment groups. They are worth a total of $112 billion. And they've already increased their profits by 10.15% this year. Second one is Vanguard, but BlackRock is the dominant global investment group. You even go deeper in the BlackRock rabbit hole, especially on Reddit. Supposedly there was a recruiter that spilled the tea on the company's world impact, and anyone that came in their way disappeared or mysteriously were unalived, especially those who came forward about Boeing. And ever since BlackRock and other private and even individual investment shareholders came forward to own a piece of the Boeing pie, the Boeing gold standard really declined and decreased. Look at the graphs between 2018 to now of fatalities and accidents, whether it was in air or on ground with Boeing airplanes, it's quite a lot. But also remember what I said in my last video too. When it comes to Boeing and all these other companies, it's all about shareholder value, and that overrides everything. And when I mean everything, I mean public safety, standards, and even human life. Especially if you have the galls to testify not just against Boeing, but also against BlackRock. And Josh Dean went and testified. And after he testified, just literally 2 months right after the passing of John Barnett, this happens. I can't even imagine what their loved ones are going through right now.
Dang, that's sad. R.I.P. to both of those outstanding patriots. It's not really a term I use a lot, but they're, very brave men for standing up against a company like Boeing. Yeah, it's really sad, man. All these safety regulations got lifted for all these airplane companies, and these whistleblowers are coming forward to say that those aren't even being followed. And then they're mysteriously de-wording. I don't know. Just find that strange. Allegedly. And stuff. And this is entertainment purposes only and all that. I think Boeing and BlackRock are great. I own 1,000 shares of each. Right. BlackRock shares are trading at just under $800 a share right now. Boeing's at $185. Yeah, do some digging into BlackRock. They're always interesting to learn about and find out about. I have nothing negative to say about them or, anything that they've done. I think Larry Fink and Susan Wagner are great. I don't want the smoke with any of them. Fuck them, actually.
What do you think a black hole is?
It doesn't exist. There aren't black holes. There's no spot where energy goes in and never comes back out. There's no place in the universe where the information paradox occurs, where there isn't a balance. Something gets contracted and never comes out. That's not how the universe behaves. It comes in and it goes out. When Newton said that gravity pulls down, if he had, with that apple, yes, the apple was attracted to like conditions on the earth. It was attracted to like conditions. If he had spent another week or 2 weeks watching that apple, he would have watched the gases go right back up to where they were equalized. Everything, if it comes this way, it has to go this way. You breathe in, you breathe out. It's filling in or pouring out.
So what do you think they're detecting when they're detecting black holes?
With that shift that they're talking about, that's the tornado. Remember, there's a vortex. There's all these huge vortices. The same thing that's happening at the center of the galaxy is happening in the center of a hurricane.
How do we feel about Terrence Howard? He seems smart. Like, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, but I don't know that I'm intelligent enough to say that he's wrong. I feel like I'm a fairly smart dude, but when it comes to, like, theoretical physics and stuff, like, I don't know. And I looked into this the other day because I was curious, like, why would he be smart enough to know about this stuff? And he did go to school for engineering, if I remember correctly. Let's just look him up again. He did, a few years back, release a paper and a theory that 1 × 1 = 2, but it was quickly disproven, at least by most of the people that commented. He is also, I thought this was interesting, and I actually saw him talking about it, and I looked into it, and it seems to be true, but he is the sole inventor of a listed U.S. patent titled System and Method for Merging Virtual Reality and Reality to Provide an Enhanced Sensory Experience, which has been cited by Amazon, Microsoft, HP, Sony, Raytheon, among 30 other major corporations. It was later abandoned by Howard because he claims he could not keep up with the legal fees and was not granted. So maybe he didn't actually get the U.S. patent, but I will put the U.S. patent number on the screen if anyone's interested in that. Put in an application, I guess technically it wasn't that he has the patent, so I misspoke, my bad. Yeah, if you want to go check that out yourself, you can pause and get that number and go check it out. But another interesting thing about Mr. Terrence Howard is, as listed in his Wikipedia at least, and I believe he's talked about it publicly, he did have an abusive father, which is really sad. But he also saw his father stab another man in the Santa line slaying when Terrence was 2 years old, which is a very pivotal time of your life to see something so traumatic and tragic. Apparently, they were in line to see Santa, and his dad got into it with another dad and ended up stabbing a guy a bunch of times. He was convicted of manslaughter and served only 11 months in jail. So I don't know all the details on that, but it's really sad for a child to have to see that. So I don't know what's up with Terrence Howard. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like I said, he sounds really smart, but then, yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. There you have it, folks. That is another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. We did it. We done it. We're doing it some more. Don't forget, new posting schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for a new video. Sundays for a live stream. That was the fourth one. All at 4:15 PM PST. But that is subject to change, so make sure and subscribe so you never miss a video. Merch shop's down there. If you guys are into that kind of thing, go check it out. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see in there, let me know in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. I love you, appreciate you. So until next time, seek the truth.